All right. As always, I'm Bob of Tales by Bob.
I'm the ass of the podcast, Derek.
And I'm author Ben Meeks.
Hey, um, we have a fun episode uh, for you.
Do we?
We do.
Do
It's
we?
gonna be a hot mess. We'll see. Uh, it's gonna be an absolute train wreck. But you'll have to wait till after the news to find out what we're gonna talk about, or maybe you read it in the show notes. But
That's probably, yeah.
I haven't written those yet, so who knows what I'll put. Um, but okay, I got we're doing all booze news this episode.
Nice.
First up, from CNN, how a Depression era law could be used to make your booze cheaper.
Hmm.
All right. Federal regulators are planning to use a rarely enforced law from the Great Depression to allege America's largest alcohol distributor is unfairly pricing wine and spirits. The FTC is suing Southern Glazer's Wine and Spirits with an aim of lowering costs for consumers, in this case alcohol, and ensuring mom and pop shops have a level playing field against big chains. So, for those who don't know, because I didn't, Southern Glazers is based in Miami and operates in 44 U.S. states and is the largest wine and spirits distributor in the U.S. It's family owned and it distributes everything from Grey Goose and Jim Beam to Yellowtail wine. So I'm wondering if the reason that I'm unfamiliar with it is because we have ABC here in the state, Alabama
Probably.
Beverage Control, and they're the distributor. There is no other distributor for liquor.
Oh,
Um, Beer is distributed. You know, there's a couple companies that do that, but liquor is only distributed in Alabama by the ABC board. Um, Here's how it's going to work. The As previously reported by Politico, uh, it would rely on the Robinson-Patman Act of 1936. This Depression era law prohibits suppliers from providing deeper discounts to large chains than to smaller stores. So basically, Jim Beam or Glazers cannot go to uh, Target and say, hey, or Winn Dixie. Winn Dixie has liquor stores in Florida. So they can't go to Winn Dixie and be like, you're a big chain. We will sell you Jim Beam 30% off. Unless they also offer that to small stores and chains. Um, so basically, either everyone gets a discount or no one gets a discount.
yeah. You see, I think in situations like this, they'll probably lean into no one getting a discount.
If I'm Southern Glazers and I'm the biggest distributor in 44 states, yeah, I'm guessing not. Um,
Right.
uh,
Like,
so
mm,
it's one of those. On the one hand, I think this is cool because I prefer mom and pop stuff to chains.
yeah,
Generally
same.
speaking, um, like I just know that a small mom and pop store is better for the community because typically there are higher wages. Um, you know, that money stays in the community. Like that, I am absolutely in favor of. But on the other hand, I think you're right, Ben. And what's going to happen is if this goes through, they're just not going to offer. If they do offer discounts, it's not going to be as big of discounts, and I'm sure that that will get passed on to us.
Well, I think it'll just be one of those things where alcohol, for example, is no longer cheaper at Walmart than it is at Renfro's,
Yeah, yeah,
and which is fine with me. Then that just even further makes that gives me even more reason to just shop at Renfro
yeah, yeah.
because it's a local chain just for out Alabama. And
Well, and the thing that another like big wind sea change is people are drinking less. So um, I could see the liquor companies kind of trying to come off their prices a little bit to try and encourage people to drink more, maybe. It could go that way.
Why are they drinking less though? Do we know?
Gen. What's the young Gen? Gen is it Gen X? Is the young or
Alpha,
Gen
probably. I
Alpha?
don't know.
Like Gen
I don't
Alpha
know.
apparently doesn't like to drink, and um, basically I think like drinking. We covered this before on an episode. But the younger generations do not drink as much. Like, and it's
Oh,
not. It's
well, it's a social activity. They don't go out. They spend more time online.
very true. That is a large part of it. And then, but it's also it's. Uh, I don't. It's almost like a culture thing. Like part of it is social. Like a lot of folks drink socially, so they're not socialing, so they don't drink. But there is more of a. I don't know if you could call it purity culture, but there's a little bit more of a like an anti-drinking culture in some of these younger generations. Um, I don't know. Not like I look. I've reached the age where the majority of slang coming out no longer makes any fucking sense to me. Um,
That's that's funny coming from you, Bob, because you use a lot of slang that makes no sense to me starting out anyway, and then I go look it up and be like, oh,
yeah,
this is what Bob say.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's fair. So I don't know. It's also it's the FTC. Who knows if this court case will go anywhere. I At first I was kind of like when I started reading Star Wars, I was like, oh no, I don't like this. I don't like it when people go back and find a law that was on the books in like the 1920s and like, oh, we're going to suddenly
yeah,
start enforcing it again. I don't like that. That said, this law, they have not invoked it super recently, but they did invoke it in the year 2000 against McCormick, the spice makers.
Hmm.
So to me, that is recent enough that okay, it's not like you're going back to the 1800s to fuck somebody over. It's okay. This law has been invoked.
2000 though.
Yeah. Well, you got to
That's
think though.
24 years, Bob.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
mean,
But yeah.
yes, okay. It's recent enough for people that are alive today to remember, but it's not like it was,
Well, but you have to think.
just yesterday.
8, 12, half of those years were under Republican presidents, right? Right?
What
And
difference does that make?
because Republican presidents are not as apt to use the FTC to do things like this. The FTC, it's kind of been a thing in other places I follow. The FTC under Biden has filed significantly more cases of this, not saying this, but like more like antitrust cases and whatnot that has been filed in somewhat recent memory. Like it's Republicans tend to be more business friendly. This is arguably a move that is less friendly to some business, but not others. So, it's less friendly to the companies that probably have lobbyists who donate to political campaigns.
I-
Um, so that is why I think
Okay.
that this
You know what, Bob?
perhaps has not been invoked as
I,
recently, but I don't know. I
I will give you 12 years. It's still 12
Yeah,
years.
okay, fair, fair,
I mean,
fair, fair. Um,
come on.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm okay. I'm on my second B&B now, so I feel that I'm getting a little chatty
yeah.
and maybe
Good.
off topic, but I'm going to go with it.
Go,
Okay.
go with
So
it.
here it is. I kind of feel like maybe laws should just expire
Thank you.
after a time. You know what I mean? Like if
And if
it
it's
hasn't
working
been
for you,
used in who knows how long,
Yep.
whatever. Set a limit, like wipe it from the books
and when it comes
altogether.
up at the end, you're like, "Hey, we've
Yeah.
been doing this. Do we still use this? We
Right.
can re-up it like
Like
that. We can."
Yeah.
But
I agree with it.
nobody ever goes back and audits the
Yeah.
laws that are permanent and says, does this still make sense? So
and
we
then
have all these laws
It's why
that do not.
it creates
Alabama
this off.
I was
Go
gonna say
ahead.
it's why Alabama has the biggest constitution in the world.
And then it creates this awkward thing where you're just like, "Look, if we're doing this, do it. If we're not, stop.
Yes.
Don't keep this in your back pocket so that you can use this as leverage against somebody at a later date.
Yeah.
That is not
Right.
fair.
Yeah.
Okay? Get rid of it. Either do it or don't. I don't care which. You just need to tell me which way we're going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, kind of related to that, I just listened to another podcast, which I think people do. I think that there are other podcasts other than ours. So I don't know if you've ever listened to another
I
podcast.
think there's like two, maybe
Yeah.
Joe Rogan and one other one. I can't remember the
Yeah,
name of.
it's probably them and us. So if
Yeah.
you, I don't know if you've listened to other podcasts other than ours, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear about them. But I listened to one where apparently the state of Louisiana, um, for a long time, a jury in a criminal case did not have to be unanimous. As long as 10 of the 12 people voted to convict, it would stand.
Mostly unanimous.
Yeah, but yeah. And so I didn't know that. I just assumed that all jury trials had to be unanimous, you know? It was a whole long article about it, like, you know, or episode, you know, talking about like the origins of how it came to be. And like, spoiler, it was the origins of it were very racist. Basically they found out they had to start allowing black people on juries, and they're like, oh well, what if we got it to where there's only one or two on there, and then what if we just,
and then we can ignore them?
yeah,
Come on.
yeah, we could set it up in such a way that we could ignore those two votes. So it was a whole thing. But that's one of those things, like a perfect example. Like, I do not think that the state of Louisiana as a whole today would be like, you know what? Fuck yeah, let's renew that law. Which, spoiler, they at some point, I think in the past decade, they had a referendum, and it is now, it has to be unanimous. Um, but that's one of those things, like if you had like a 50 or 70-year sunset law on these things, at the time 70 years rolls around, Louisiana, I like to think, would have been far enough along and like, you know what? This was kind of fucked up. Maybe maybe we don't renew this one.
Even if they weren't far enough along, they would have the people in charge would have to be forced to renew that law.
Yeah.
And then the citizens would be like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Like, we're farther along. The people that are farther along, they would have to show themselves for who they are.
You have to own the decision to put it back in place. And if you want to make that argument, feel free to make that argument, but I get to feel how I get to feel about it.
Yeah.
So if you don't convince me,
yeah. No, I think that I think that would be a fantastic law. Just every, like, and I get it, like, okay, maybe, you know, it's a little late in the game on some of this stuff, but you could do it on all laws going forward, you know?
Yeah. And if somebody just focused on, you know what I mean? Take a year and just go through the laws that are on the books and don't make sense and get rid of them.
Well, they
know what I mean?
They do that on occasion. They like constitutional congresses or whatnot, or like, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where like, because I think it was in this episode they talked about a different state that they're like, oh yeah, Wisconsin, and like, you know, 1870 or 1890 or something like that. They came together and they did that. They were like, okay, cool. Let's kind of take a look at things, you know.
Right.
And Alabama refuses to do it to any real degree. We did the past few years. We went in and cut some stuff. I think we mostly changed wording. We didn't really remove things as much as we went through and replaced the more racist wording on some laws. But for the most part, we're just like, fuck it.
As long as they change the word.
Look, we got two things going for us. We got Alabama football, and we got the world's biggest constitution. We can't be changing that.
See, I suddenly find myself, and this is the B&B talking, just wanting to talk shit about Alabama football.
Wow.
And I don't even care about football.
Wow.
Well, hey, if it makes you feel any better, they're garbage.
Derek's an Auburn fan, and fuck you both.
That's true.
So,
yeah, well, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I live in Georgia, so, you know, Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Gotta support the Bulldogs, even though I don't really care at all.
Look, as long as they're not playing Alabama, I like the Bulldogs. Go Dogs.
I mean, yeah, even if they are Alabama.
Wow.
Alabama fans are the worst.
Wow.
So
So we just decided to just say fuck Bob today. Okay, fair.
Yeah,
Fine.
pretty much.
we
Fine.
Fuck you,
didn't even
Bob.
got there yet. We'll
With
get there.
love, go fuck yourself.
Fair.
Would you
Okay.
rather be married or killed, Bob? I don't.
We're getting there. We got one.
Right.
We got one doozy of a news article to get through, and then we'll
Okay.
hit the topic.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay.
What we got?
Lay it on us.
This is from patch.com. And I saw this headline a bit ago and did not write it down, and then I was doing a search for like news articles and this came up. I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah." Cicada infused Malort? We were just winging it, brewery says. So this is from Lombard, Illinois. Are y'all familiar with Malort?
I am.
No. I was about to ask
I've
you.
never had it. I've heard it described as tasting like diesel fuel. And from what I gather, all the hipsters have moved off of PBR and have moved on to Malort.
But do you know what Malort
So-
started as?
It's a drink.
Yeah, it's a liqueur, right? I don't think it's a liquor.
My understanding, it's a huge fucking troll. Like they make it. I can't. Is it Chicago? I can't remember exactly where it's from, but essentially they made it. It tastes
Chicago.
awful. Yeah, and it's their. Oh, you came to Chicago. You got to try this local thing. It's so good, and it's how they troll people that are coming out of town into trying this god awful liquor. So it's like a rite of passage to get you to like drink it.
It is a liqueur.
My first reaction to that is let's firebomb Chicago. You know,
with
why?
Malort. So it is.
I mean,
it is anise and wormwood liqueur. It is known for its extremely bitter taste. Malort has been described as infamous and the worst booze ever. And so sales of Malort shots increased from 0.4 million in 2007 to 7.9 million in 2022. But that's in the Chicago area. It's rare outside of there. But I know folks who have gotten Malort tattoos. Much in the way that I know people that got PBR tattoos. You know, it's a thing now. Okay, so Malort, it's awful. Never had it. Have no intention of having it. That said, if y'all want to buy us a bottle and mail it to us, we'll drink it. Fuck it, we'll try it. You know, I'll try anything once.
Bob,
but I'm not gonna. I'm not
you
gonna
need to
pay
run
for
things by the group before you just, say them.
Mail it,
right?
Mail it to
Like
me.
I'm gonna have a bottle of Malort show up on the door and obligated to drink nasty, bitter wormwood.
Mail it to
shit.
me, and I will try it, and I'll bring the leftovers to Ben at the next convention we're at. Make him drink it. All right, so I'm just going to save a lot of reading here. This brewery decided to start putting cicadas in shots of Malort.
Can't make it worse.
Because it's already, it's not bad enough as it is. We got to put a bug in it.
I always heard that people made the joke that it tasted or smelled like grass.
Malort?
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
I once had grass-flavored vodka.
Okay. Side note.
Yeah.
So I used to make wine.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but you can make pretty much anything into wine.
Yeah.
And I was reading a forum about a guy who made that statement, and they said, no, you can't. And he said, yes, I can. And so they ended up, long story short, a guy brought him grass clippings from his yard to make wine out of. So he made wine out of it and took it to a group thing and didn't tell them what it was. And everybody's like, wow, this is pretty good. And it's like, it's grass clipping wine. Yeah. So you can make wine out of pretty much anything, like decent wine.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
make sangria in the toilet.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
anybody that's been to prison knows how to do
right,
that. I mean,
right. Um,
You can make a good book out of anything in there, right, Bob? You can just take any two good ideas and
you can,
turn them
mash
into
them
a good.
together.
That's
ask.
right.
Redneck wizard, meth.
Uh,
Boom. Got a
yeah,
book.
yeah. No, ask.
Roman Empire and
Yeah,
what was
Jim
it? Lost.
Butcher. Yeah,
Mhm.
Lost Roman Legion and Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard that story, Ben?
Okay.
No,
No,
Jim
I haven't.
Butcher was on a forum, and basically the argument he was making was ideas don't matter, execution matters.
Okay.
And they were
Fair.
like, no, 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 no. He's like, give me two random ass ideas, I'll turn them into a book and get it published. And the suggestions were Pokemon and Lost Roman Legion.
And it's Codex Alaria.
Yeah, 6 books.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now that you say that, you say it, and I'm like, I've read a couple of
Yeah,
those, and I totally get it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I read
Were
3 of
those
them.
good?
Mhm.
I keep thinking about reading the first one sometime,
You,
but
I would,
It's good.
yeah.
I really appreciate it. I'm sorry, Bob. I'm totally
No.
interrupting, but I'm drunk, so I'm going to
I
do
don't
it.
care about his opinion
Yeah,
anyway.
no. Talk over me.
Thank you. Honesty is always appreciated. No, I totally get the Pokemon reference now, but it is a very interesting magic system of basically they have to be attached to an elemental,
Mhm.
and then they can do, elemental magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But hearing it described as Pokemon, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
I see what you
yeah,
did there. Okay,
it's
yeah.
Pokemon. I get it.
I read the
It
first
doesn't come
3.
across that way when you're reading it
No.
without any
but I think
knowledge.
that's the point. That's kind of what he was saying. It's about the execution, you know.
And I would agree, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I read the first 3. After book 3, I could see where the series was heading, and it was heading in a direction that I just didn't want to read those books. Um,
I've only read 2.
uh, this,
Coincidentally, so currently Jim Butcher holds the honor of being the person that I've read the most books from. Okay. And it is, I think, 6. I think I've read 2 Codex Alaria and finished 4 of um Dresden Files. I started 5 of Dresden Files. I don't think I finished 5, if I have everything straight. However, Mark Dinneman, I am on book 5 of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and there are 6 books available. So the way this is shaping up, we're looking at a tie in the very near future between Jim Butcher and Mark Dinneman. And now Mark only has 6 books of Dungeon Crawler Carl out.
yeah.
So I mean, he can't take the title unless he puts something else out that, you know what I mean?
So
Well,
Like,
after
where's
you,
book
okay.
7, Mark?
So,
oh,
first off, he has more books. I just learned that. Did you know he wrote shit other
I
than Dungeon Crawler Carl?
I am aware of that, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, one of them, they refer to it as Kaiju. I don't know if that's the name of it, but it's a standalone book, I assume, about a
That's
kaiju.
I think that's a description of the content,
Yeah, I don't think that's.
whatever that is called.
Yeah,
Over. Yeah.
yeah. I was spending some time in the Dungeon Crawler Crawl subreddit, and someone asked that. It's like, hey, he's got other books. What? Like, are they any good? And like the comments were like, yes. If you read this one, you can see he took a lot of ideas from this to turn it into Dungeon Crawler Carl, and hey, this one's standalone. We really like it. Yada yada yada. So there you go. You could go check
Gotcha.
out one of those. Um,
Well,
or if you
we'll
wanted
see.
Jim Butcher to win, you could just do
so
that, and you could go read Aeronauts
You know,
Windless, which I really like.
Aeronauts Windless, and the audiobook is really good for that one. I mean, it's steampunk
I don't
Jim
know.
Butcher.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's steampunk.
I've I've never met Jim. I've met Matt. Matt's a very cool guy.
Very cool.
Like I kind of feel like he might
Uh,
deserve the title just from coolness.
Yeah,
You know,
I have
I mean,
read.
Jim, when you hear this, because obviously you listen to this show,
naturally.
reach out. If you're cool, I'll get another one of your books.
Yeah,
We'll just throw that out there.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
like to imagine that one day another Cinder Spires book will actually come
Oh,
out.
it's coming.
Um,
Did you not hear? It's been announced.
well, yeah, but that announcing something is The first one
No,
came
no,
out
no,
in
no.
2016.
Yeah, no, it's like it's imminent. It is like it
Mm.
is real deal
Oh,
coming.
Book of Two. Where's
Yeah,
two? The Olympian Affair. Okay.
yeah. So
Didn't
I
come
will
out.
say I have read the same number of Jim Butcher and Matt Ditterman books at 6. I've read all 6 of
Hmm.
Matt's. I've read first 2 Dresden, first 3
Okay.
Codex Alara, and then Aeronauts Windless.
Okay.
And my favorite is Aeronauts Windless.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I
I'm
enjoyed
not
it.
surprised by that, just because it's a later series. You know, and people get better
I
as they go.
I have been told many times that Dresden does not start really getting good until book 3, but I read the first 2 and just could not
Disagree.
get I just couldn't get into
Let
them.
me. Okay, Jim, if you're when you listen to this, plug your ears for this part, because I do respect you, but I'm about to trash something that you did here.
Oh,
Okay,
I definitely respect him.
here's the thing. Yeah, absolutely. Jim's great. I assume. Never met him. However, dear God, you could make a drinking game out of how many times people in a Jim Butcher book lick their lips. Especially, especially the first Dresden. It is constant. And every Jim Butcher book I have ever listened to, people lick their lips. I don't know if you've noticed it. It happens
Yeah.
every book. It's one of his things. And he has gotten much better. As I listen to the Dresden Files, it drops off, but at
Yeah.
least a couple times per book, people are licking their lips. And it was so bad in the first one that I was like, I took notice. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, this guy is running a chapstick commercial
Well,
because
in
he
his
licks his lip
defense,
all the
that's
time.
definitely something you should use as like a signifier of something, but that means you should only be using it in that instance instead of like a
Yeah.
filler of
Yeah.
Right.
oh, they're I need them
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
doing something because I don't want to just say he said. So he licked
Right.
his lips,
He licked
and
his
then
lips.
no, don't say that.
I mean,
Use that to show someone's nervous
Yeah.
or
it's the thing is, it's such a rare thing to use, right? Like lick, he licked his lips is so oddly specific that, I mean, who uses that really? I've only heard one other author use it ever, but Jim Butcher used it. I mean, had to be at least 30 times in the first Dresden Top. At least every
Yeah.
chapter, I think, had licking
Yeah.
in it.
Well,
Oh my gosh,
now
Jim.
I've seen
Don't
some
hate me, Jim.
now I've seen some not articles, but like Reddit posts where they're like where people will point that out. It's like, man, this author
Yeah,
uses this a ton,
all the
and
time.
and
Yeah.
I know I have some. I'm not gonna say them. Uh,
good. Don't point them out. Don't
yeah,
point them out
because
because
once you
then
point them
people
out,
will
I had
yeah,
never.
my I had my editor point out, hey, you're doing this a lot. And I think I cut it down to like 12 times in the first book, which is still probably a lot.
yeah,
But anybody that reads my book and picks it out, know that it was originally a lot more than that. So,
It's a part of what signifies your writing style. It is
yeah,
what
right,
it is. I
right.
mean,
yeah.
Jim, if you want revenge, feel free to read my book and trash it online. Okay.
Yeah.
I would be perfectly happy for you to do that
or
Well,
just
when you hear this
or
podcast.
just
yeah.
try and find the thing that you use 12 times and figure out what
Right.
his licking of the lips is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh, I will say, with I'm toying with giving Dresden another run because what I've heard is one, most folks recommend starting at book 3, but apparently, he wrote book 7 to be an entry point to the series. You can start reading at 7.
Weird.
It and it's a neat idea. It's something I kind of keep in the back of my mind because like I'm planning a long series too. Like Dresden's supposed to be 22 books, I think is what he has planned, and so I get it. Some folks are like, "Oh, that's real intimidating." It was like, "Oh, well, look, why don't you come into book 7? I got the 6 books where I spent learning how to do what I do, or
So
Right.
skip
so
those and just come
he
in."
just has a couple of entry point. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay, well,
Yeah.
I could see that. That's like different.
and from what I
I
gather,
mean,
it's called changes because I think there's a pretty dramatic change in the series, and so it's
in the
kind of like,
setting and some.
yeah, it's kind of setting the tone of how it progresses from there. So, but
So
I
I
haven't
don't.
looked too closely because I don't want spoilers. So,
Yeah, and part of the thing is anime does that, and with like time skips in really long shows, it's like you kind of need a not a complete reset, but you need to like, okay, instead of showing you how we get to this new place, let's just take a little bit of time. We're going to skip a little bit. We're going to jump. We're going to set a new baseline, and then we're going to start from here
Right.
with these characters that you already know, but
yeah.
like now we're going to have a little
You
bit more
know,
mystery and.
with such a long series, I could see that being really useful. Um, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, but here's the
Go
thing.
ahead, Bob.
Here's the thing. It On the one
I've
hand,
had 2 drinks,
yeah,
so yeah.
oh, on the
Go
one
ahead.
hand, very potentially very useful. But here's the thing: if you're not a Dresden Files fan, you're probably not hanging out on the Dresden Files subreddit where people are talking about, oh, well, why don't you just start at book 7? And so a lot of folks, I feel like a lot of folks that are hesitant to try Dresden because of how long it is, they're probably the same people who are not going to be plugged in enough to know
You know,
that you can start at 7. So,
I don't know that I agree with that because at this point, anybody getting into Dresden is probably getting into it because they know somebody who's talking it up,
yeah, fair.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't see new generations coming up and going, you know what? There's this great thing called the Dresden Files that came out in, I don't even know when the first book came out. You know, like a long time ago at this point,
I mean, and you
right?
could also do it different ways, like the fucking the Midkemia books that Raymond E. Feist wrote. Like, there's a crap ton of those, but he just did them in small arcs. Like, there's the Rift War saga, then there's the Serpent War saga, then there's the like they all happen in the same world. They continue off of each other, but they're self-contained
yeah.
enough to where you could start on the first Serpent War saga book, read those, and move on.
Ben, if you want to know, the first Dresden book came out the same year that the FTC went after McCormick.
The serendipity. That's what that
the
is.
year 2000, 24 years ago.
2000. Yeah.
So,
Nice.
so yeah, cicadas and malorts.
Way to bring it home, Bob. I guess we are still on the news. We
Yeah.
should probably move this along.
Uh, uh, yeah. Long story short, they're putting cicadas. They're going to a nearby park, gathering cicadas,
Oh my
That's a
God.
terrible idea.
cleaning them. They clean them. Um,
How do you clean a cicada to go in booze?
uh,
Like,
I did not copy that part over, but they freeze them to death, and
freeze them to death.
yeah.
Right.
But this is what I thought was interesting.
The
Uh,
rest of it wasn't.
it's a
That's
wild. This
not
this
interesting.
article was a wild
Okay.
ride. You should go if you got the time. Go to patch.com and look up the cicada infused malort article. It's full of puns. But the it turns out cicadas are not safe to consume if you have a shellfish allergy
Correct.
because they're related to shrimp and lobsters.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they are.
What the fuck?
I mean, lobsters are very closely related to cockroaches.
Well, do you know?
Like they're
Yeah.
one little step apart.
Well, lobsters and diamonds are both like products of like ingenious marketing. Used to, like back in the day, the only people who ate lobsters were fishermen because they couldn't sell them
Mm-hmm.
Right.
because they were
Right.
the bugs
And
of
they
the
were
sea.
like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I heard
now,
about that. Yeah.
now it's fancy.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think lobster's overrated, honestly. I
I
prefer
agree.
crab. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't
Give me
prefer either
crab any
one.
day.
Too much work. I'm
No,
good. Just
yeah,
give me a nice piece of
I
fish.
don't mind the work.
I don't like
Eh,
crabs. I don't like crab. I've had
I,
lobster once.
I mean, it's good. It's
I
just
it's not up to the hype, you know.
It's a cockroach
But
or
yeah,
a cicada.
I haven't eaten crab in, I mean, decades at this point. But I mean, I would. But given between the two, if you said, "Hey, here's a
Crab or
king
lobster.
crab or a lobster," I would take the crab.
Okay,
Yeah.
but if you could have crab, lobster, or just some shrimp, which one would you get? Because I go with the shrimp.
Okay. You wanna know the thing? Here's the thing. Okay.
Here we go.
Fried clams. Son, I will destroy fried clams all day long.
I don't think I've ever had a fried clam.
It is so good.
I have not.
When they're, especially like if they're cooked good, you know what I mean? Sometimes they get a little rubbery, but if they're actually prepared well, oh my
I like
God, I will
octopus, so
eat
the
fried
rubbery
clams
would be nothing.
over
So.
anything on this planet. The problem I have with octopus,
Octopus. Got you, boss.
is, thank you, Derek,
Mhm.
is that, they're really intelligent. Like they're intelligent
Yeah.
creatures. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like look, a cow is dumb as hell. Okay. I don't feel bad about eating a cow because it's stupid. An octopus is a
I feel
very
bad about it.
intelligent creature. You could make an argument that it has like feelings and, can reason and whatever. Granted, it may be delicious, but the
Are,
implications of eating it are questionable,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
are squids intelligent too, or just octopus?
I have no idea.
I think
Definitely not as intelligent as
Yeah.
octopus.
No.
I just know they both
But
taste good.
Yeah,
I'll be that
calamari.
guy.
yeah,
Calamari is
I'll
top
eat
tier
squid.
food for me.
Yeah.
Fried
Let's do
calamari,
it. I
top
will
tier.
chow down.
I had sushi
but,
last week, and they gave me a couple of pieces of just like.
Do you guys watch The Boys?
I've only seen the half of the first season.
The Boys or The Voice?
The Boys.
Oh,
Boys. B-O-Y-S.
Not yet.
Boys.
Okay, so they're the Deep
Mhm.
is kind of the Aquaman character, right? Which is, if you know the show, like, oh my God. But so he can talk to, aquatic species, right? And at one point he's end up force eating a live octopus that is a friend of his, basically, that oh, The Boys is rough, man.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's a good show, but it's very adult and very just like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard watch sometimes.
Not to drop product placement here, but I've made an 8-page game where you play. It's called Three Octopuses in a Trench Coat, where you play as three octopuses in a trench coat trying to escape an aquarium. So,
Yeah.
because they're real smart, and it's free. Go to beardedbardinkworks.com. You can download it for free. So,
You know what's just free? My ire for this topic that we're going to discuss.
Cicadas are free.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you got to have some kind of insurance for them.
And here's the last thing: they put the tasting notes in here. On the nose, it's going to be like pine and herbal notes, and then the first sip is going to kind of give you an earthy, spicy, almost yeasty sort of notes. Then it's going to finish with that strong, bitter wormwood sort of flavor. Sounds miserable.
President Joe Biden, if you have a spare firebomb sitting around somewhere, I recommend Chicago. They have it coming.
Yeah. So that's the news. Send us a bottle of Malort.
Please don't.
No, or don't. Please don't.
You could not. That works too.
I know one guy listening to this that there's at least 17% chance that he will send us a bottle of Malort.
Why I keep saying no.
I
think that probably just increased my chance.
He has sent us some weird shit before, and we've tried it on the air. So
I'm going to be honest.
It could happen.
I would if it gets sent in, I will try it, but I will not be happy about it.
Fair.
Okay, so make decisions, people.
Yeah. All right. So it's time for this is a book battle episode. It's time for our discussion.
Okay.
Our so far this season, we've been pretty serious. They've been pretty serious discussions, either getting to know Ben or talking about what we've read recently, or what do we do? Character development. We did a like book with the best character development or something like that. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Fight Club, go Fight Club.
yeah. So when we were plotting things out, we're like, we need to get a little silly with it.
Yeah, we need to pick something that's going to piss off Derek. Like, we
And
haven't made Derek angry.
right? Every topic so far had been like in Derek's wheelhouse. So we decided to play Fuck, Marry, Kill with
Yeah.
with literary characters.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is why, Bob, you didn't actually say that. You just said, let's do Fuck, Marry, Kill. You didn't say what we were doing it on. You didn't give me any criteria. You didn't explain anything beyond that. So I'm just like,
oh,
the fuck am I doing here?
Well, Derek, at least I gave you that much. So, all right, we gotta lay some ground rules here.
This is par for the course.
So, okay, we're already at 40 minutes, so we probably won't do a lot of these. We can save some of these for later. But so here's what we're gonna say. The how it is, it's Fuck, Marry, Kill. If you're not familiar with Fuck, Marry, Kill because you're a person of class and distinction and have never heard this, you're provided with a list of 3 names and you say which one would you have sex with, which one would you get married to, and which one would you kill. Okay. So here are the ground rules. 1, they have to be somewhat related to literature. 2, it is assumed that other than the killing part, it's consensual. Okay, this is made up. All right, it's consensual. Right. Like if I say that I want to bang Druss the Legend from Legend, it's not like, oh my god, what if he says no? No. Druss is into it. He's like, oh god, yeah, Bob, that beard, I love it. Okay, it's consensual. The killing part, that maybe that's not, but you know,
it doesn't matter. They're dead.
It doesn't matter. They're dead. They can't squabble about it. And we're as 3 straight dudes. Just know that I have some dudes on my list, and
yeah,
there's too many. Yeah.
Yes, we're suspending our sexualities for this. I guess we say like it's one of those, like if it's 3 dudes, it's not like, oh, Derek is clearly a closeted homosexual because he picked Druss the Legend over
the female character.
The female character.
No, he's the cool character.
No. We're just gonna have fun with this. Okay, so and
also another thing, it's like I made the point is like we could just change this to where it's, you know, main character, side character, cut character, as if from the literary perspective. So it's because like that's the way I'm like, essentially this is the character you want to spend a whole bunch of time with, a character you'd be okay with spending a little bit of time with, and then a character that you just don't really like, of the 3 is not the one that you would want to spend any time with, so you cut them and or kill them. Like they're out.
I really like that idea, Derek. So let's save that for another episode.
Yes. Oh.
So
okay.
Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Also, I don't know if you thought about this, Bob. We don't have shared reference points.
So
I have not seen a lot of or read the things you've read.
I picked.
You will know mine.
Yeah, I made a point to pick stuff that if you have not read the books, you've probably seen the movies, or or they are general enough that you're aware enough that you could make at least a quasi-informed decision.
I tried to do the same thing, but then I was also like, I kind of think this could be fun if you do stuff that you know the other people don't have, and you have to write a little blurb about them. So like, you don't even have a point of reference. You just have to take my word on it.
At some point, y'all two just need to make a list of every book you've ever written, and then I'll compare it to my Goodreads, and we'll see where we overlap, and then but yeah. Anyway, moving on. So I came up with 5 potential lists of 3, but like I said, not going to do them all. Save some for later. But if we did at least 1 each, I feel because we can always save more for later. Derek, would you like to go first?
You know what? I will.
Okay.
I've got two that I couldn't decide which one I liked the best, so I'm going to go with this one.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Yeah. FMK.
Inigo Montoya
Ooh.
from Princess Bride,
Okay.
Zorro from Legend of Zorro,
Ooh.
or D'Artagnan from Three Musketeers.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to sleep with Inigo Montoya.
Okay.
Because he was in the movie pretty good looking dude. But
What's your name?
I think that the whole like revenge thing, I don't want to marry that.
He got over it. He did his thing. He's
that's
done.
a lot of baggage. It's a lot of baggage. I don't. There's baggage.
You don't want to
there.
marry a pirate? He's going to be the new Dread Pirate Roberts.
Again, I just don't want to be married.
You don't
I don't
want
want
to
to
be
be married to
at sea.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't.
Fair,
I don't want to be married to that.
Okay.
Um. I would kill D'Artagnan and marry Zorro.
Wow.
Wasn't I think Zorro had like a hacienda, right? Like had like a nice setup, right? He was like a landowner by day and then was Zorro by night. Yeah,
I kind of regret this one. I kind of feel like I wish I had changed it slightly. I didn't think about this. It should have been Count of Monte Cristo, Zorro, and D'Artagnan.
Well,
that's what I should have done.
I would choose to eat a Monte Cristo always. But no, and so but D'Artagnan just seems the least fun.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Killed D'Artagnan.
My turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Marry Inigo Montoya. Why? Because after decades of revenge, he knows about commitment.
Ooh,
okay,
that's good.
I dig it. Yeah.
Right. Fuck. D'Artagnan.
He's French, man. You know he does some weird stuff.
He's French. Yeah. Exactly. The French know how to get down and kill Zorro.
Oh man, I'm right. Same answer.
Yeah. No.
For the same reason.
I can't.
Nice.
I can't even argue. Like I'm with you. Like. Those are good. Those are good.
Oh man.
I mean,
I'm gonna. Yeah. Solid choices.
Fantastic choice.
Yeah, go.
Am I up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I picked authors. Okay.
Oh.
So here we go.
Interesting.
Okay. Your choices are Edgar Allan Poe, Ernest Hemingway, and Charles Dickens.
Oh,
this is okay. Yeah, kill Charles Dickens. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would bang Poe.
That's the correct answer.
Because I have enough issues with mental health. I don't need that.
You don't need that around permanently.
Yeah, that's just such a downer. And like Hemingway, also lots of mental health issues, but they were like alcoholic health issues, and so
so at least he could come on the show.
Well, yeah, like we would have fun. Like we'd go to bullfights and like go fishing places and stuff. Like it would be an adventure. So. But yeah, Poe, it'd be like banging the hot goth chick in your high school, Not that I ever did that, but I really wanted to, so.
Oh my gosh.
Little wish fulfillment there. And then, yeah, fuck Charles Dickens. Ironically, with a name like Dickens.
Well, you mean kill Charles Dickens.
Yeah, kill, yes,
not
kill.
Fuck Charles Dickens.
I was going to say, you got to be very specific with the wording on this one.
You're double fucking here, Bob. That's not allowed.
Yeah.
I agree with that selection.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't know enough about Charles Dickens.
Okay.
He's my least favorite author of the three. Just on
great. Charles Dickens is a wordy motherfucker. So it's like I don't want to have to listen to that wordiness for the rest of my life. So kill, right? I picked Hemingway as fuck.
Okay.
Because Hemingway, here's the thing about Hemingway. Hemingway traded in his wives every, I don't know, 7 to 10 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hemingway knew how to get down. All right. He was always going for a younger model. Like he knew what was up. So I think Hemingway is the strong fuck choice.
Okay.
Okay. But Poe, okay, granted, did he really have mental health issues or did he just write really dark shit?
Or did
Right?
he
Like,
really
And,
want to get down with his cousin?
and I
Like,
think
was that?
he was also like a
Mm,
opium addict, maybe? Question mark.
I mean, bonus, you have opium in the house,
I'll go with the
right?
bonus. Like, hey,
I'm just saying. I picked Poe as Mary. I
oh
mean,
man,
you won't get bored, right?
I like boring. I like to be bored. That's my thing. I was like,
I
no.
Then I think you need to marry Charles Dickens because
Okay, well then
I don't think you're going to get boring with
yeah,
either Poe, and you're definitely
okay,
going to
well
get
then
boring with
I
Hemingway.
look.
definitely not.
Y'all's reaction to like Charles Dickens made me think there was some horrible thing he did to somebody that I just didn't know about. So I was like, whoa,
No, he's
okay,
just
He's
my.
all
just
right.
too wordy.
He's just,
I'm
I
yeah.
okay
have
with
He's
that.
nothing
least
against
favorite.
him except it's like, come on, dude.
I don't
Yeah.
get
Come
to
on.
the point. Get to the point. I don't
Yes,
mind being
exactly.
boring. That's fine.
He's
So
like,
I'll Charles
yeah,
Dickens. Yeah, me and
yeah.
old
I'm
Charles.
also just.
So who are you killing then?
I'm gonna kill Poe because there was some weird stuff to do with his cousin,
Okay,
his
Yeah.
underage
that's
cousin.
fair.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a product of his time, Derek.
Yeah.
He can stay there then.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna say about
Right.
that.
Okay. I went with Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
I want to do at least one more after this because you're
Okay, no,
saying this. By the way,
we can do we'll do two
go ahead.
each. Okay.
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings. There are so many people I could pick here,
Right.
but I decided to go with kind of the iconic trilogy of Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn.
Okay. You marry Aragorn. You do you marry Aragorn?
Mm.
Nah, dude. You marry Gimli, you bone Aragorn, and you say fuck off, Legolas. That's what you do. Yeah.
What are your reasons?
Because I think it would be cool to hang out with a dwarf. I hang out with Bob all the time. Like
Yes.
he's got a beard. We just hang
Yeah.
out. He's grumpy. We drink alcohol. It'd be great. We'd be hanging out all the time. And then with Aragorn, it's like, is he a great dude? Yeah. So it's like, you know what, man? I appreciate and respect you, but like that's a lot of responsibility being like a king and shit. No, miss. I got enough on my plate with my job. I don't need even more. And then Legolas, like, you're a blank slate, bro. You're just an elf. Like you're gonna outlive me. There's gonna be all this depression. You're gonna be all young, and I'm still fucking old. No. Have a good day. All right,
Huh.
see ya.
Now you've got me wondering. Up until that statement, when you brought up that the elves be young, right, outlive you or whatever. Because see, here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
if you married the elf, you
I,
always have fine tail, right, for the rest of your life.
I'm not saying that's the
Well,
wrong answer. I'm just saying what
so
my answer.
Hmm.
here's the thing though.
Like there's no
All
aging there. Well, at least
all
not on your scale.
all three of them will outlive you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
dwarves live to be about
True.
250 to 400, and Aragorn was of the line of Numenor, and
Mm-hmm.
they were a longer
He was a
lived.
Dunedain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so they're longer lived. So uh, odds are
Granted,
he.
yeah, you're getting
Well,
outlived no matter what.
that said, he had been
You
kicking
haven't read it.
around a good bit by the time Lord of the Rings, so he might not outlive you, but odds
Nah, he
are
would outlive you.
he
Well,
would.
either way, then
He
he would
would
take care of me in my old age. Well, no, because I'm not marrying him. I'm marrying the dwarf. That's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna say Mary. Hold on, Mary.
Comes down to
Oh,
what
this
do
is
you
tough.
prioritize? Yeah, right.
Um, Mary by the thinnest of margins, Aragorn.
Mm,
All right. He has a kingdom, you're royalty at that point. You have servants, you don't got to worry about anything. Um, fuck Legolas. Because, I mean, let's be honest, between a dwarf and an elf,
Fancy boy.
The dwarf or the elf is fine. Okay, I don't get up. I appreciate the facial hair, not on a potential partner. Um, and I have to take no pleasure in killing Gimli because
But somebody's got
Gimli's
to go.
awesome, but somebody's got to go. Yeah.
Okay. I would absolutely marry Gimli, because
Yep.
dwarves are the best fantasy race of all, and there would never be any expectation that I would have to fix anything around the house, because I live
That's
among
fair.
dwarves. They're going to, first off, everything's going to be working in pristine order anyway, and if it didn't, they'd be rushing to fix it. Um, I would absolutely bang Viggo Mortensen. Oh, did I say that?
Wait, Bob.
Aragorn. Wait,
Hold on.
Aragorn.
Okay, I think you're saying a little more than you
Yeah.
meant to right
Um,
there.
and yeah, I would kill Legolas because fuck elves. That said, I almost went. So
I gave you that win of saying I chose the dwarf, even though
yeah,
you know I'm an elf guy, and
I
then you just
know.
got to throw in that fuck elves at the.
Okay, so I could have done Took, Mary, Killy, because there was Peregrine Took,
Oh.
Meriadoc Brandybuck, and Killy was one of the dwarves from The Hobbit. So you could have had Took, Mary, Killy.
Nice.
Yeah.
You should have done that.
Oh, but they wouldn't have been as fun. Okay, Derek, what's your second
Okay,
round?
my second one. This one, I'm gonna be honest. This is more leaning towards the like, which one do you want a book of?
Okay.
Which one would be a side character in the book?
Yeah.
And which one do you just want to get rid of?
Yeah.
And the three, and I don't know if you're all going to be familiar with these, but first one is Mandragoran or Mandragoran, however you say it, from the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, okay.
Lan, yeah.
Yeah, Lan.
And two is Mad Mardigan from the movie Willow. And
yeah.
then three is Aragorn from Lord of the Rings.
Go for it.
Are you going first, Bob?
No, go for it.
Me? Okay. Kill Lane. Just because he's the least cool of the three.
He is literally the coolest, but continue. He's the greatest character known to man.
Disagree. Derek,
You're
I'm
allowed to be
sorry.
wrong.
Wait your turn, okay?
Okay.
Wait your turn.
I'm the one with the correct answer.
I'm going to say, again, I have to say marry Aragorn. Obvious advantages. And you know Mad Mardigan knows how to get down. So.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
That was what I was expecting the answer to be anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. I would.
Oh, wait, hold on. But what about from the perspective of a book? Like you're going to read a book where one of them's the main character, one of them's a side character, and the one of them isn't involved at all. So not even from like the perspective of I'm going to bone these.
I would cut Lan. He's my least favorite of the three, hands down. I would probably main character Mad Mardigan.
I'd probably.
And then side character Aragorn.
Okay.
Because see, the thing is, Aragorn is very. He doesn't have the moral complexity, I think, to hold a modern character in the modern day, right? Where Mad Mardigan is gray enough.
He's conflicted. He's got failings and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I would cut Mad Mardigan.
What?
No, hear me out. I would cut Mad Mardigan.
You're free to your opinion. You're also free to the loss of respect that you are now afforded.
Hear me out. Wait, it's coming. All right, I would cut Mad Mardigan, but I would bang Mad Mardigan. Okay.
You can't do that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. If we were doing the sex one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would. Mad Mardigan is my cut from the book and my bang. I would marry Lan, and I would main character Lan, and I would kill Aragorn. No, I would Yeah, I would kill
Side
Aragorn.
character.
I would kill Aragorn and
Kill.
side character Aragorn, because Lan and Aragorn pretty similar in their drive. Like they're both trying to like regain, protect their kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a like buddy cop epic fantasy of those two going off to like reclaim some kingdom, I think that would be
Buddy cop.
yeah.
I'd watch that.
I think
the
that
only
that'd be
problem
fun.
is it would be the same. It would be a two very similar bros. That you like, hey bro,
Yeah.
you want to go kill these people?
Well,
and, like,
it would,
bring,
and so
yeah, let's go.
unfortunately, you really need a Mad Mardigan type character in the mix. But I just know that you have those two, those kind of people just naturally acquire some hangers on. So
Yeah.
that book, they would have some. They'd have
some spice.
But I think all three of those in a book together, like would be fantastic, because Mad Mardigan would be the cool like foil off of them, the nice contrast that would spice it up.
I was thinking about this from the perspective of like, how can I find like 3 sword fighters that you can kind of slot into a story.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be exactly the same, but it'd be close enough to where they could fill the same role, but the way the story would play out would be different. But the correct answer is you write the story about Lan, and Mad Mardigan is his sidekick, and Aragorn's just not in it.
Yeah.
Like,
fair.
Fair. Yeah, it is what it is. You know?
Yeah, and I only slightly nudge Aragorn up into the side character. Like,
I like all the characters. So
it's one of those.
Yeah.
I almost, because Lan kind of already had that in Matt to a degree, you know, in real time. Mm-hmm. So, anywho, Ben, do you want to give your second?
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I went a different route with this one.
Okay.
So these are like action stars.
Ooh.
Okay. So we have The Witcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have John Wick. Ooh. And we have Batman.
Oh, this is easy. Oh, easy. You marry John Wick because he's committed. You get rid of Batman because if you don't, you'll probably die. Because Batman's not allowed to be happy. And then The Witcher, you bang, and then he moves on to the next town and continues doing his thing.
Bang The Witcher, because The Witcher can't get pregnant. Right? Aren't
Bob, I don't think he's getting pregnant no matter what you do. I'm just saying.
I think we'll talk about it after the show.
I think aren't the Witchers sterile? Isn't that a thing?
It is, yes. But I'm just saying, I don't think that you could get the Witcher pregnant.
Look,
I'm just saying.
maybe
saying, you could. Maybe you got something going on. I don't know about.
I'm just saying, I ain't getting baby trapped by the Witcher, and like, look, let's be real.
That is a key plot to the whole story, basically.
Geralt looks at me and goes, "That's it. That's it. Like, just let's go. Let's go."
Bob's just like, I'm the person that, like, at the beginning of one of these games, he gets out of a tub naked and I'm laying in the bed. That's what's happening.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Oh my God.
God.
Middle picture.
So, man, I think I do like the idea. I mean, John Wick is super committed, but man, that Bruce Wayne money.
You're not wrong. I don't.
He's rich.
Yeah.
But, okay. Well,
because here's the thing.
That he's good.
Look, the dog died. Look, honestly, like, there's not better survival chance being John Wick significant other than Bruce Wayne's, and Bruce Wayne's richer.
At least you have money, and you have Alfred. Alfred's cool to hang out with.
So I'm going to say kill. Well, here's the other problem. If you say marry Batman and you say kill John Wick, it inevitably fails, and then he comes after you and kills you.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Oh
God,
that's hilarious.
Derek, Ben, you fucked us. You fucked us. All right, I'm
gonna.
We're all dead.
The game.
Oh God. Wow.
I love how we did fuck, marry, kill as 3 dudes, not a woman to be seen. Not a single. My thing is, I just, when it comes to literary stuff, when we do this again and we don't have to stick to like this, and I can kind of like
Yeah.
inform you. I can do like anime characters, and I can get pictures and write you little blurbs and like
Let's
this
do
will be
it.
better.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I got this.
We will file this away for a future episode.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes. Okay. Ben, who do you pick on that? What was your?
I think marry Batman, fuck The Witcher,
Yeah.
and kill John Wick if you can.
Right.
But if you can't, you're married to Batman. He'll keep you safe. It'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, Batman should be able to handle John Wick. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
If it came down to it,
That'd be.
And
if he can't, his money don't mean anything anyway.
I would say that I would read that crossover, but at the same time, Batman doesn't have minions, and the appeal of a John Wick movie is seeing John Wick
get killed.
Yeah, roll up on some minions. So
Yeah. I mean, Batman's bulletproof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's John Wick going to do to him? Let's be honest.
Fair. Okay.
Unless you shoot him in the mouth.
No, he said marry, not fuck.
Oh God, I'm trying to pick which one y'all would. I'll let y'all pick. Your choices are Stephen King, Jaws, Dune, or Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, let's go with Harry Potter, I guess.
Okay.
Are there some chicks on this one? Because I feel like we should have some chicks.
It's all women. It's all women.
Sweet. All right, let's do it.
If you've seen the movies, these are all of the movies and obviously in the books, and they're all decently big characters. One is a little less, but anyway, Professor McGonagall, Molly Weasley, which is the mom of the Weasley family, and Sybil Trelawney, who she was the in the movies she had the thick glasses, but she was the divination professor that is a little woo. So, I made sure to only pick adults. There's no no students, none of that. It's all grown folk. And there you go.
Okay. Am I going first?
Sure.
Okay. Marry the Weasley. Right. What's her name? Molly?
Molly. Yeah.
Molly Weasley. Marry Molly. Because, family life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck the divination teacher. Because, free love hippies, they know how to work the sheets.
Yeah.
And kill McGonagall for no other reason than I have to.
Okay. Derek?
Counterpoint. So you marry Molly, and you bone McGonagall because she seems like the uptight type. She could use letting her hair down a little bit. And then the other one, if just from hearing about too woo woo for me. Like that's not. I'm good. Like nothing against her, just not for me.
Yeah. Okay. I am absolutely killing Molly Weasley.
Ooh.
She is.
Hates commitment.
No.
Yeah, he does. He hates kids.
She's fertile.
Yeah. Oh man, you're going to walk out of this episode. Your house is going to be empty.
I would wind up with. I love my kiddo. I do not want more kiddos. She's got like 50 living kids, and they're all soulless gingers. Okay. No.
You're a soulless ginger.
Shut up, Derek. I am not marrying her because I'd wind up with a million kids. I'm not sleeping with her because I'd wind up with one kid. Because you just know that'd be a one-night stand that leads to a kid. Okay, she's dead.
What are you talking about? She probably have like triplets from that. Just because
probably.
Weasley.
Probably. I would.
Technically, she's not the Weasley though. Actually,
right? I can't remember what
so it might
her
be.
family was.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
I feel like I'm supposed to know who her family was, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I would bang Professor Trelawney because very similar reasoning. Little woo woo. And I would marry McGonagall because one, slightly, older woman. I don't know, man. Just someone to boss me around a little bit. I need that in my life. I need wrangling. Okay.
He needs to be reined in.
I need to be reined in. Two.
Well, McGonagall is the solid choice for
Yes.
that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two. Kind of like what Derek. I feel like she lets your hair down. Things would be fun. But also, she's the best of both worlds because the worst part about owning a pet is knowing that it's inevitably going to die. And she could shape change into a cat. So I get the perk of a cat that lives a long time.
You furry.
That's sick, Bob. That's sick.
I'm not gonna bang her in cat form.
Sure, Bob. Yeah.
You're gonna be with her the rest of your life, and that's
You
never
disclosed. You disclosed your real motivation here.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Wow is right. I don't know that we should share tables of cons anymore. They're going to be like, ooh.
Or conversely, we're going to share a table at a furry con, and I'm going to witness you sell 1,000 copies. You're going to literally walk out with no books left. You're going to sell so
Let's
many.
go.
You're
Let's
going to.
I need the money.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You're going to need my help to carry the wad of cash
Yeah.
to the bank.
Setting matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, that was fun. I
thought this was gonna be a train wreck, but instead you guys
good.
Steered into it. So yeah, we can do this again.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I just don't like
good.
Not knowing what
No,
the
that's fair.
Behind the
and I
was.
also I like the idea of yours, like the more clean literary version, which arguably is a better fit for a book podcast. But
for the alcohol, the effing kind of works.
Yeah. So, no, I like this. We will definitely bring this back because this could have gone real sideways, but I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. Up until I started
my 40K one.
Oh man, I didn't even think of. Yeah,
I got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, no, I got some more in the bank, so we will bring this back. We are also. I'm not going to promise this, but I think the next book battle episode we may have a guest, and
okay.
We've had me and Ben have had a number of people be like, "Hey, let us on." A bunch of authors want to be on here, so we may start letting them. But we're gonna let them.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna let them look at our upcoming episodes and pick one that they think they'd be fun on.
Oh, yeah.
So, he hasn't asked yet. Oh, I think he did actually, but I feel like we need to get Jim Nettles on here. I think he'd
be fun.
He'd be the perfect blend of. We need to bring him on for this whenever we do this episode again. Jim Nettles is who we need to have on it. Anywho. All right. Well, anything y'all want to add before we wrap this up? We think we put this
way better than I thought it would.
Yeah. I'm happy with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, in the coming week, as you travel the pathways of your life, I hope that you find someone that you would like to FMK to some degree. Whatever would make you happy. Whatever makes you happy, we're good with it. Maybe a little. Maybe yeah. Let's go for the M. Maybe not the K.
Yeah.
Maybe a little
Definitely
F.
Not the K.
But look, I ain't your mom. Which spoiler if your mom had been on FMK.
Stop.
I know what she'd have been.
Well, Corey's not even on the podcast.
Oh man. Yeah, if it's Corey's mom, it's always F. Anyway, all right. So yeah, in the coming week, find the FMK that'll make you happy, and may the blessing of the beard be upon you.